let me tell you something. Look it, man. I've been an Atlanta fan for 45 years.
Late night vibes, we're turning up the heat. T-Will on the mic, can't accept defeat. My ATL sports show, he's running the game. Atlanta Falcons fly high, you know the name. In the heart of the A, where the pride runs deep. From the Braves to the Falcons, he's keeping it real, no sleep. He's got the scoop, every player, every play. Bringing the thunder every single day. T-Will, shining bright on the airwaves, bringing sports tonight. Atlanta heart, with a soul so free. My ATL sports show is the place to be.
Party people, ATL sports fans alike. How goes it? You got myself, T-Will, and my guy, Scott Karasik, like Jurassic, in the building. Scott, I want you to know, hey, man, your name is catching on, buddy. Every time Carrie and Jack and myself talk about you now, they're like, Scott Karasik, like Jurassic. So I just want you to know it's catching on, man. It is catching on.
I appreciate that.
All good, man. How you doing today, brother? All well?
All good, man. Been busy with work for this week. It's just been a really friggin' busy week.
Well, as they say, Scott,
summer.
busy is good, right?
Well, it's the
busy.
summer and everybody wants a car or a personal loan to do something around the house or whatever. And it's take a vacation kind of thing.
No, I hear that. But, like they say, brother, busy is good. I'd rather be busy than not busy. You know what I mean? So, hey, all is well. All is well. No worries. Speaking of all is well, all is not well with our beloved Atlanta Braves. But, the name of the show is What the Falcon, Home of the Braves. So we kind of have to talk about them, Scott. And we do love them. So we're going to talk about them anyway, even if it's not always fun, which in this case it won't be. But we'll start off with some good news. So best hitting Atlanta Braves, of course, number one, numero uno, is Mr. Ronald Acuna Jr. He is out tonight, unfortunately. Wait a minute. We've got Miss Carrie in the building. Miss Carrie says, T-Will and Scott, the Jurassic part has helped me remember to say your last name correctly. Reminds me of Bijan and how most people were saying his name incorrectly too. We have football on tonight, Falcons football tomorrow. Amen, 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 Miss Carrie. And welcome to the show. Scott, Mr. Ronald Acuna is, sir, he's just magic. He is 100% magic. And, I, for one, can't wait for him to come back. But I got to ask you this question. This is pretty much a lost season. Would you play him for the rest of the year? Or are you just going to say, you know what, Ronnie? Come have a seat next to me on the bench, buddy. Let's talk.
I would play him 2 out of every 3 games.
Okay.
Just if he wants to play, he can play.
Right.
I'd leave it up to him. Now, with his current injury, I think he's on like the 10-day DL.
Yeah.
I'd leave him on there for 15, 20. Just make sure he's good. Because why rush him back when you've got this season going on?
Yeah. No, this season is just well, and to be fair, I think one thing that kind of helped Alex Anthopoulos, because I think Snit's gone no matter what, but one thing I think that did help Alex Anthopoulos is the fact that, you know what, his entire pitching staff is on the shelf. So what can you say, right?
I mean, it's a down year.
Yeah.
And I do think that management of the roster in the early part of the season made it a down year. Because if it was a down year, if it was a good year and then the pitching staff got injured, then you could be like, all right, well, there's an issue there. But it was a down year just in general.
Yeah.
And a lot of it had to do with piss poor management early in the season.
Okay.
Piss poor management early in the
Piss
season.
poor. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new term. Well, it's a new old term. My father used to use it all the time when he was pissed off with me. No pun
So
intended.
the
Piss
biggest
poor.
stat that I've noticed with the Braves is they are the absolute worst team in the league in one-run game differential. They're 14 and 28. There's only four teams that have won fewer games. Not a single team has lost as many in one-run games. By percentage, they have the worst one-run game percentage out there.
So is that bullpen? Is that management of bullpen?
That's bullpen management. That's not pinch hitting the right guy at the right time and sending out Nick Allen in the ninth inning to go hit. There's a thousand different things that could be, right? That's not figuring out Michael Harris's issues earlier. So this says 11 and 23. I'm on ESPN's standings page. They're 14 and 28.
Damn you, Google. Okay.
By far the worst one-run team in Major League Baseball right now. And it's not even close because the average team is hovering around 500 plus or minus a game, right? The Diamondbacks are pretty bad too, but even they are 12 and 21. And they're just a bad team. Even the Rockies have a better spread in one-run games. If the Braves were just 500 in one-run games, they'd be 54 and 59 right now.
And they would have they'd have a better chance of making the playoffs than they do now.
Exactly. So, and for example, this is a recurring issue with Snitker. This is a recurring management issue with Snitker. They were 18 and 25 in one-run games last year, which is also terrible. In 2023, they were great. They were 23 and 18 in one-run games. So, and 2022, they were 26 and 18. In 2021, they were 26 and 31. Like close, it should be closer to
500.
And it's not anywhere close to 500.
No.
They are like 33% of the time losing those games. And that is not acceptable.
Yeah, to be fair to Snit though, Scott, this bullpen when it comes to one-run games has been donkey hooters. There's no other way to say it. They have been bad. And look, I think it's time for them to go.
Snit.
No, because you can't.
It's 100% on Snit.
No, it's not 100% on Snit. It is maybe 50% on Snit and 50% on Braves management because they should have gone out and gotten some quality relievers and not going shopping at the bargain basement bin. You get what I'm saying? That's the Braves way. So
I get what you're saying there, and I think bringing in guys like Wentz, who is controllable through next year, and Wentz has been solid. Bryce Elder having to pitch is really frustrating, and not having Joe Jimenez has hurt the depth of the bullpen.
Correct. Joe Jimenez hurt, but
them also not giving shots to some of these young guys.
No, that's true.
Good job in AAA.
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point because honestly, I would have liked to have seen Hayden Harris up here 2 months ago.
Hayden Harris,
Burkhalter, right? They're doing. Are they throwing Burkhalter? You said who?
Rudy Munoz.
Okay.
Munoz. I have trouble with that name. I don't know why.
No, it's I can't say Worcester sauce, so you're all good. I butchered. It's okay.
Blake Burkhalter would have been
that's right. That's who I'd like to see them put in the bullpen.
Giancarlo Lara.
Yeah. Well,
he could have been a good fit for a long reliever.
Is Lara ready?
Hell, you have Jackson Stevens down in AAA.
Yeah, but
And
I
as
mean, they don't
much
care.
shit as we talk about Jackson Stevens, he's a solid reliever.
Yeah. Well, and I don't see why he's not up here. You know, because Dane Dunning or whatever. Oh my god, yeah, I don't, or whatever his name was. I just think that the Braves' way to me is to get folks off the scrap heap and the bargain basement bin, and they say, "Oh, well, we can fix them." And you know what? Sometimes that works, but oftentimes it doesn't. And we'll get into the Braves' approach later because they in my humble opinion, you know, sometimes the best thing and the worst thing that can happen is you can win a championship. They won a championship utilizing their bargain basement theology. And that doesn't mean that you will perpetually win championships with that approach. They don't want to sign pitchers to 200 and 300 million dollar deals. And I get it if you don't want to do that for everybody. I understand. But guess what? You're going to have to sign somebody.
You should have done it for Max Fried.
You should have done it for
at a
Max.
minimum.
100%.
Fried, when you've got
100%.
Fried and you've got Strider and you've got Swelly and you've got Sale, that's 4 guys that are rough and tumble and insanely good. And then Lopez is your 5th guy. Grant Holmes is in the bullpen. That alone fixes a lot of things. I think next year we see Grant Holmes. We see I think next year we see Grant Holmes in the bullpen. We see Ronaldo Lopez in the bullpen. And hot take, I think they re-signed Iglesias.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Give me 1 sec.
He's on a down year. And the big reason why
I don't know that I trust him.
Well, the big reason why you re-sign Iglesias is you re-sign him as like a 8th inning kind of guy, not as a 9th inning guy. He's not your closer.
Yeah.
But you re-sign him as the 8th inning guy. You use Lee as your closer. You use Joe Jimenez as your closer. You use Reynaldo Lopez as your closer. Hell, you could use Grant Holmes as your closer. How fun would that be?
I don't know about that, but to be honest with you, oftentimes when pitchers elect to not have surgery, they have to come back and have it done anyway. You know what I mean? Like if Tommy John is recommended and he's electing to not do it, that means at a minimum it's at least partially. Yes. Because they recommended Tommy John and he opted not to do it. And what that tells me is it's at least partially torn. Right?
I think they are. So it said elbow inflammation. I didn't realize it was a Tommy John type situation.
Yeah. Well, so so a lot of times when they initially report it, they'll say it's inflamed. And when it's inflamed, in a lot of cases, you can't see past all of the tissue. So it has to deflate a little bit, for lack of a better word. But again, for them to recommend Tommy John surgery, right? He's got at least a partially torn one. Now you can pitch with the partial. I know pitchers who have said that they pitched with partially torn ligaments in their elbow. You can do that. But
Strider did.
Yeah, but you are risking it, my friend. So, you know, it's not a question of if, but when, in my humble opinion. I just, you know, for me, Scott, I think the Braves need to go out and sign 2 starting pitchers next year for a couple of reasons. Number one, let's be honest, the Braves have abused Raylo. And the reason I say
throw him in the bullpen.
Right. Agree, but right. But will they do that? But because here's the thing about Liberty Media, right? And even though the Braves are their own corporation, they're still corporately run. They want to get the most for the least, right? So I love my Atlanta Braves. I don't like how they're run. I love my Atlanta Braves. I do not like the fact that we have a corporate entity running our team like a corporate entity.
Do you know what the average closer makes?
Probably 15, 16 million.
Do you know what Ronaldo Lopez is pacing to make for the
10
next?
million. 10 million. His I think average annual value is 10 million. But the Braves are so greedy and so desperate for starting pitching. Look, you and I are rational people, and I hear you. I just don't know that that's what they're going to do.
I would make him the closer.
I would make him the closer too, but again,
He's got the stuff for it.
yes, he does. Well, we hope, because we don't know what he's going to be like when he comes back. But to your point, he should have the stuff for it. And again, us being rational people, I would think we would do that. But the Braves are so greedy that, see, this is the way they're looking at it. We can get starting results out of him, but pay him 6-inning reliever money.
So I don't think he was that good of a starter, if you want my honest opinion.
Well, let's look at what the numbers say, buddy. Let's look at what the numbers say. So, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying let's look at what the numbers say. So, Ray, I think he had like a under 2 ERA.
The ERA was great, right? The FIP was great. But when you watched him pitch, that to me was a better view of who he is. When you watched him pitch, and you'd be like, all right, well, he's missing the zone here. He's got an issue there. Something was off with how he was pitching. He got a lot of lucky bounces, but it just felt like he was allowing a good bit of hard hit balls. He was getting barreled a decent amount. Like,
wow.
You just looked at it. He was like very league average in a lot of stuff. His expected ERA last year was 3.94. His actual ERA was 1.99.
Correct. So
we would have been happy either way, but he wasn't as good as those numbers were showing, right?
Well, this is what I will give you.
Why I say that.
I think he's a better reliever than he is a starter. I will give you that. Okay. But again, the Braves being the Braves, I don't know that because you got to understand greed, right? And that's all this is greed. Why pay him to pitch 1 inning when we can pay him the same amount of money to pitch 6, right? I mean,
the greed from the Braves, the smartest thing for them to do would be to force Grant Holmes to get his Tommy John done. Have Schwellenbach, who's on pre-arbitration. Have A.J. Smith-Shawver, who's pre-arbitration.
Yep.
Have Joey Wentz, who's going to be arbitration. Have those 3 guys be the back end of the rotation. And then have Strider and Sale be the front end of the rotation.
Yeah.
Lopez as a closer would actually be about the same as what they're paying Rozelle this year.
I think they're paying Raziel $14 million. Look, you're getting a bargain if you got Lopez as a closer, but I just don't think they'll do it because they're greedy. I don't. I hear you. I believe you me. You and I are in alignment. We are in complete agreement. I just don't think they'll do it. I just don't. You know,
should and will are 2 different things.
Oh no, agreed. Agree with you 100%. Falcon Fandemic says, "What's going on, fellas? What it do, man? How you doing?" For those of you who don't know Falcon Fandemic, great podcaster. You need to check out some of his stuff, man. Outstanding. Miss Carey says Falcons just released a mic up of Penix that just made my day. Love it. That's right, Miss Carey. We love MPJ Jr. Absolutely, we will. So let's get back to it. Ronald Acuna obviously has been great this year. Matt Olson has been pretty good. He's been decent. He hasn't been 2023 Matt, but then nobody in the Braves has been the 2023 versions of themselves. But he is a very good first baseman and a very good defensive first baseman.
He's on base for another 3,100 year. I mean,
yeah. I mean, that's all you can ask, right?
You get 6 of those guys in a lineup, and you got a hell of a lineup, and I think that's the goal. And I think you got the potential for that with Ronnie, Harris, Riley, Olson, and then your catcher duo.
Yep.
You know, that's 6 guys right there that could all hit 3,100 with regular playing time. Especially if they could all stay healthy all year, right? If you can get them all healthy for 162 for an entire season, you could have six, maybe even seven guys go 100. Because even Profar can do it, although Profar has been kind of a pain in the butt in his own right.
Yeah, we got to talk about Profar next week because I'm going to do a deep dive on Ozzy today, but I'm going to do a deep dive on Profar today. And Profar's been bad, man. If you look at defensively, his metrics,
He's awful.
bad, bad. Yes, yes, yes.
I thought he
And
was average defensively, but
not this year.
no, he's
Not
awful.
yeah.
He doesn't
He
know how to
is.
play a ball in the air.
Yes, and the thing about that is, if you're doing that, then you need to be crushing it at the plate, and he's not. So, but we'll get into him next week. Drake Baldwin, potential rookie of the year, hitting 281. He's got 11 bombs, 2.4 WAR, which is wins above replacement. Drake is doing great, man. Drake is doing great. So I think. And look at, all the offseason, we kept hearing, well, the Braves could have traded for this guy, but they wanted Drake Baldwin. I see why they didn't trade Drake Baldwin now. Obviously, I don't think yeah. Obviously, I don't think you're going to re-sign Ozuna. I just don't. You need either a second baseman or a shortstop. So to me, and you need two pitchers and you need two relievers. So, yeah, I think I say that to say that you're probably going to slot Drake Baldwin in the DH next year when he's not catching and flip flop between he and Murphy or whoever needs a day off in the field.
Especially with how Murphy is hitting with his glasses on now.
Yeah. Murph's been better this year. Murph has been better this year, but that's I just think, hey man, good call on Anthopoulos to not trade Drake Baldwin because he's a good one. Best defensive Atlanta Braves, and it's funny, right?
Where's Sean Murphy?
He's not up there, and you know what? It's an omission on my part, so I can admit that because Sean has a great arm and Sean calls a great game, so should have put him up there. But Michael Harris to me is the best defensive center fielder in the game. Well, the guy for the A's is pretty good.
The guy for the Cubs is really good too.
Yeah, but I'm a little biased. I'm going to go with Michael Harris. Michael Harris made a play, was it last night or the night before, where he clearly got turned around and you could see it was bad news. And the thing about him that I like is he is so fast and runs usually great routes to the ball. He can adjust. Because he made he turned to the right and should have turned to the left the other night. No problem. Let's go ahead and reverse course. Comes back. I didn't think he had a chance in the 80s at making that play. And he made a great play the other night. I just feel like anytime you hit that thing up in the air in center field, 23 has a chance, unless it's just over the fence by 30 feet. 23 has a chance to bring that thing back. So I again love his defensive metrics. I'm happy to see that he is coming along at the plate, that he figured some stuff out. I think it's great. You were referencing that he went back to an earlier stance that he had earlier in his career. I agree with that. Matt Olson is a great first baseman. I will not take that away from him. He helps us a lot when we throw balls that, bounce or whatever, and Matt's great at that. Nick Allen is probably defensively in the field the best shortstop in the league. Now, he doesn't have the greatest arm. His arm is okay. Okay. He doesn't have the greatest arm. His arm is okay. But as far as the balls that he gets to and the plays that he made, like I think he went 70 or 80 games without making an error in the field. I think he had made 2 throwing errors, but he went like 80 games without making an error in the field, which is unheard of. So he is great. Ronald Acuna Jr., in my opinion, has one of the greatest arms I've ever seen from an Atlanta Brave. that throw where he threw that guy out was just insane. And I know you know the one I'm talking about.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
Acuna as a defender, though, if we're being honest, is actually below average.
well, he doesn't. Okay, so let's define that. He's below average as far as the routes that he takes to a ball.
Yes.
Now, the difference between him and some others is he's got the speed to make up for it, and that arm is a cannon. But you are
Oh yeah,
correct as far as the route that he takes to a ball. He
he's
could be
got to get
better in
better
that
about
area.
that.
Right, right. He could be better in that area. And to your point, Sean Murphy does call a game. And ladies and gentlemen in the chat, when we say call a game, we mean, hey, curveball, fastball. We mean essentially the pitches to throw in a sequence, right? So if we got somebody up there that likes the ball inside, right? I'm going to come high up and in at him twice, right? Then I'm going to come in and throw a strike. And then the out pitch is going to be low and away. And at that point, if you just come up in high, it's human nature to kind of step back a little bit, and it's harder to get to that ball low and away. So we're talking about that sort of thing. Sean Murphy has the ability to throw folks out. So defensively, you are correct. Sean Murphy is a very good defensive catcher.
So Murphy in general is in the top half of the league, and so is Drake Baldwin. Out of 60 catchers,
mm-hmm.
Murphy ranks 12th in framing pitches. Baldwin ranks 23rd.
Okay.
As far as blocking, the Braves as a whole, their combination rank 11th.
Do me a favor and define framing pitchers for those of us. I know what it means, but for those of us who may not know what it means, define framing pitches, right?
So let's say that the strike zone is this piece of paper, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And the ball comes and it's coming right here, and
right.
the strike zone's right here.
Right.
To frame the pitch would mean you act like you actually caught it here,
right,
in the strike zone, but when you catch it, it's just like boom.
Right.
And as it comes into the glove,
you bring it back.
Pull it back.
Right.
But it just looks like you're pulling it back subtly.
Right.
To the point where it's like, oh, well, I actually caught it here.
Right. And it's deception. It's deception.
It's the impact of the ball that pulled my hand back.
Correct.
Not me pushing it into the zone.
Correct.
And that's an art. There's truly an art there.
You're 100% right.
The new system, the ABS system that they're going to come out with, it's going to make it even more of an art in the future, because there'll be times when it's strike 3 on a 3-2 count, and you're hitting that ABS system no matter what happens. You walk up to that plate on that 3-2 count and you feel like it's just out of the zone, and maybe that catcher framed it and got it perfectly framed. That ABS system will be like, yeah, that was out of the zone.
Yeah.
There's times where you will see, even in AAA, if you frame it just right, it looks like it hit the zone even to the ABS system. So it's going to be even more of an art in the future.
Yep. Agreed. All right. So Braves in focus Ozzie Albies. And I bring this up because Ozzie has an option next year.
Yep.
And an option the year after. And I don't know that most Braves fans know. And Ozzie, we love you, but I don't think they realize how bad Ozzie has been. Just how bad. And
he's gotten better this year, which is crazy.
I love Ozzie, but he's been bad. Right. So let's get into it. His defensive rankings, and he earlier in his career, he was a lot better defensively. But this, Father Time is cruel, right? For whatever reason. So Ozzie's defensive rankings have changed over the course of his career. In his early seasons, metrics such as outs above average placed him among the stronger defensive second basemen in Major League Baseball, including a 12 outs above average in 2018, in the 97th percentile. So in the top In more recent seasons, these metrics indicate a decrease in performance. Over the 3 seasons ending March 2024, Albies recorded -5 OAA, ranking 29th out of 39 qualified second basemen. In 24, his outs above average fell to -10, which places him statistically in the lower percentiles in major leaguers.
So this year he's ranking 18th out of 43. So while he's not the Ozzy of old that was fantastic in there, he is slightly above average in the league right now. And that's according to Baseball Savant's Statcast outs above average. So he's better than he was. I'm not saying he's good, but I think he's healthy this year, and that's made him roughly league average. He's a good baseball player, and it's $3 million more to keep him. I think it's a non-discussion. You just keep him and have him here. And if you end up signing a guy to replace him, you sign the guy to replace him.
Excuse me. So give me a sec here, because I'm trying to, let's look at his fielding. So, okay. Outs above average, you're right. He is in the 73 percentile. Now, his arm strength is terrible, but his fielding is better. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and remove this. So yeah, let's remove that. Let's add that to the stage. All right, so his fielding is down here. Outs above average, 73%. That's a lot better than what I thought it was. That's a whole lot better. But here's the issue: he's not hitting right-handed pitching. He's hitting left-handed pitching, but he's not hitting right-handed pitching. So my thoughts are, and this is where I was going with it. If you keep Ozzy next year, I'm thinking you platoon him, because, like you say, the salary is reasonable, very reasonable. Matter of fact, up until about really 2 years ago, you probably were grossly underpaying him. But you got to get somebody in there who can hit right-handed pitching. And so for me, if I'm the Braves, I sign a platoon second baseman in the offseason, and that's how we run with it. But if you do that, in my humble opinion, and I would love your thoughts here, if you do that, you got to go out and get a shortstop that can hit. Like, I understand Nick Allen is great. Love it. But if you got to look at the production that you need. You are potentially still in a championship window if everybody can be healthy. So in my humble opinion, if you keep Ozzy and you platoon him, then you got to go out and you got to get a shortstop that can hit. Now, this shortstop obviously is not going to be Nick Allen, because it's not a whole lot of people that are Nick Allen. Let's just be real, right? So we understand that he's not going to go 80 games without making a fielding error, but you got to have at least 280 and 20 bombs from your shortstop. You've got to get that production somewhere. Those are my thoughts. Give me yours. If you're the GM of the Braves, what are you doing with the middle infield in the offseason?
I'm leaving Nick Allen right where he is.
Okay.
I'm giving him another year to start. I'm having him work on his hitting all off season, and hopefully he gets his OPS above 600 by the season.
Okay.
Because you can't replace a Gold Glover in the field. It's just too valuable. With the DH, I just look at it as, is he hitting better than your average pitcher would have? And the answer is yes. So to me, Nick Allen's worth keeping out there, especially as he's starting to learn how to pop balls over to the opposite field a lot more. He's going to be that guy who just hits a bunch of singles to the opposite field. Little pop gun action. That's my vision for Nick Allen. At second base, I replace Ozzy Albies with Bo Bichette.
Okay.
I paid Bo Bichette what he needs. The Braves only have 190 projected payroll for next year, 190
Mm-hmm.
million.
Mm-hmm.
They can probably go up to about 240. Bo Bichette's probably going to cost about 18, 19 a year.
Okay.
Sign him as your second baseman. Go all Jeff Kent on him.
Okay.
Have him hit 30 home runs, 100 RBIs from second base, like what you
Okay.
were getting from Ozzie during Ozzie's best time there.
Okay.
And he profiles defensively much better as a second baseman than he does as a shortstop. Nick Allen on one side, Gold Glover on one side, Matt Olson on the other, Gold Glover on the other side. You then have two Gold Glovers surrounding your average second baseman in the field. But if your average in the field second baseman is knocking down 30 to 35 bombs and 100 RBIs in a year, you're okay with it. And Bo Bichette hits pretty high average too. So he's a mid order, early order kind of guy hitting, 300, 340, 475 slash line. Like on average, he hits about 290 every year, has a 330 OBP and a 470 slugging. Um, his average for 162 games is 20 home runs and 95 RBIs, 24 home runs, 95 RBIs. That's the kind of guy you want in the middle of your order. 40 doubles. Like, I would go out and sign Bo Bichette because I think worst case scenario, Bo Bichette could play left field and provide you with some slugging out in left field too. But honestly, I think you have him play second base and you let Ozzie not platoon, but come in and Ozzie just plays where Ozzie's needed. If Riley gets knocked down, you move Bo over to third and you have Ozzie play second. If Riley stays healthy and Bo stays healthy and Nick Allen gets hurt, you could have Ozzie play shortstop because Ozzie played shortstop. Ozzie's probably not defensively a great shortstop anymore, but Bo Bichette as a hitter is way worth bringing him in. As a shortstop, he sucks in the field, but if you move him to second base, I think that clears up a lot of issues there.
Yeah, if you play Ozzie, well, yeah, Ozzie's arm, he can't play shortstop. So yeah, if you bring in Bo, then that just means Ozzie's going to be on the bench, and you're probably going to have Nick Allen in the field.
But
But
a late inning
substitution.
hitter, and then have Bo go out and play shortstop
Mm-hmm.
when you're down in a game. Say it's the bottom of the eighth, home game, bottom of the eighth, and you're down by 1 run, and Nick Allen's coming up. You throw Ozzie Albies in there. Ozzie gets on base. Ozzie's still fast, so Ozzie can still run around the base pass like a maniac. And then top of the order comes up, and you've got Ronnie, you've got Olson, you've got Murphy, you've got Baldwin, you've got all these other guys, you got Bo. And then the inning starts, top of the ninth starts, you move Bo over to shortstop and Ozzie at second, and everybody's happy. I just think it would work out that way defensively. And if Ozzie gets his stroke back, then you move Bo back to shortstop. No harm, no foul. But Bo's the guy that I would bring in instantly because you can easily move a shortstop to second base.
Okay.
That's why you draft nothing but shortstops and center fielders.
I understand that. And I think the Braves did that this year. They drafted, 3 shortstops? Is that, yeah. I think they drafted 3.
They drafted
I think
like
they did.
four or five total shortstops when you count all like 30 rounds, and then like 2 or 3 center fielders and a butt ton of pitchers and like a catcher here and there.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's what every team looks like, honestly.
Okay. That's fair. All right. We got to switch gears to these beloved Atlanta Falcons. As the title of the show is What the Falcon, Home of the Brave. So we are truly at the What the Falcon part of it. And yeah, let's get to it. So let's get to the Falcons depth chart. Let's get to the Falcons depth chart. So here's your depth chart. I don't know that it's the depth chart that
That,
they released for the
that's
game,
not
but
the depth chart. That's the roster.
all right. Well,
You
let
want to hit
me.
that left arrow on the side there to
Here we go.
go to the actual depth chart.
There we go.
So
All right.
this is the depth chart based off of what they put out. Obviously, I have a different alignment set up for how I do the defense. Because they're gonna run primarily 3-4, but they will run some 4-3. Ebiketie, Jalen Walker probably both playing that Leo role and rotating in and out. Similar body types.
Mm-hmm.
Floyd, Pierce, they're running out of that strong side backer. Again, that makes sense. In the 4-man alignments, you're going to see the base alignments. Zach Harrison's probably playing your big end. Ruka Rororo is your 1 technique. David Onyemata is your 3 technique. In your nickel alignments, you're probably going to see more Onyemata and Harrison in there in passing situations. Maybe Morgan Fox, maybe Brandon Dorless. But that whole front group between the edges and the defensive line pairings, that is a true, like, you are rotating a new body in every play kind of situation. Maybe even 2 or 3 new guys every single play. You are rotating that, keeping fresh bodies. It's kind of like hockey in that regard. Every minute and a half, you got a new line going in with hockey. 90-second shifts. You go in, you get knocked around, you come out. You go in, you knock somebody around, you come out. You go in, you get knocked around, you come out. You go in, you score a goal, you come out. Like, that's how you would do it with hockey. So I see the same kind of situation there.
Bo Bangley says, would you rather have Jalen Walker as a pass rusher or more of an Ellis type linebacker? Scott, give us your thoughts.
He's not a linebacker in my head.
Okay. Why not?
He's can't cover. And you don't need multiple guys who can't cover like Caden
Right.
Ellis out there.
Right.
As much as I love Caden Ellis, that's not his game, right?
Right.
I think he could develop coverage skills eventually take over for Caden Ellis in that same kind of role.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've got Caden Ellis and Jalen Walker out there as your only linebackers, you are getting torched.
Well, let me ask you this, because Troy Anderson can cover, but he can't stay healthy. I know that Divine Diablo is fast, and they say he can cover. Is there another linebacker right now on this Falcons roster who you are comfortable with, or whom you have comfort with their coverage skills? Give me your thoughts on that.
He's not listed as a linebacker, but I would trust him as a linebacker in coverage situations, and it's DeMarco Helms.
Okay.
And I think a big reason why the defense failed a lot last year was they were putting out Nate Landman out there in 3rd down situations and getting torched. Yeah. And in training camp, in those same packages where Landman was going out there putting out DeMarco Helms. So I think the goal here is moving forward, it'll be a lot of dime with Helms as a coverage linebacker.
Okay.
As opposed to actually being a true dime, if that makes sense.
How big is Helms?
He's a solid like 210, 220.
Okay.
But he's a solid size dude. He's not that much smaller though than officials saying is. They say 203 on the website, but when you see him in person, he is not 203. He's 210, 220.
Yeah, plus he's a thumper. He is a thumper. That's gonna sting. So
Divine's only 225.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, because honestly, I don't even know if I see Troy Anderson on this roster just because he can't stay healthy.
he will be on the roster because he's on a cheap deal. A lot of people are like, oh, they're just going to cut him. No, they're not. He's
Okay.
in year 4 of a cheap deal. He's worth keeping. He's worth seeing if he can stay healthy. Just because he's on the PUP list right now doesn't mean that he is like not going to be healthy all year, right? It makes you think he's not, but you never know what's going to happen with injuries in the NFL. This is one of those rosters that if they're 100% healthy and Troy Anderson's 100% healthy, I trust Troy Anderson 100% out there in coverage.
Oh, agreed. I agree with you. I've just
Like,
never seen it. I've never seen a season where he has been 100%. Like I've never
like
seen that.
him and Divine out there in coverage would be a lot of fun. You'd have a lot of speed. And then Caden Ellis could go and just be a mauling, guy you just rotate around. I have no idea what he's talking about with Spill the Beans.
Yeah, me neither. Mike, what Island Mike? What it do, man? How you doing, Island Mike? Hopefully all is well, brother. Give us context clues as to what you mean when you say spill the beans, buddy. Let us know.
Now,
Go ahead.
the corners.
Okay.
Yes, D. Alford is listed as the nickel. I think he and Billy Bowman have a battle that will last pretty deep into the season before Bowman actually gets the shot starting. I think Hughes and Clark Phillips will be battling all the way up till game 1. They looked really close at CB2, and we're seeing a lot of reps together at CB2. AJ Terrell's definitely starting, but Lamar Jackson and Kobe Bryant were trading off. It wouldn't shock me to see Kobe Bryant earn a roster spot. It also wouldn't shock me to see them eventually cut Mike Ford.
That makes sense. I could see that.
Like, he signed a 2-year deal.
Sorry. But yeah. Mike just says he wants some inside info. Okay. We got you, Mike. Okay.
There's no inside info right now. It's just, I mean, there's no moves that they're making.
Right.
Except maybe
Correct.
they cut like Jesse Matthews and sign an offensive lineman, or they cut like Grayland Arnold, who they just signed, and sign like a defensive tackle. Like, that's the only kind of moves I could see them making, and not even like a relevant defensive tackle. Like, the bottom of the roster at this time of year. If some guys are a little bit hurt, some guys are a little bit hurt, but that's basically all that is.
Let's talk about these receivers, Scott. Not to cut you off, but let's talk about that, right? So, Darnell Mooney is obviously injured. They brought in DJ Chark. So here's, I figure to start, right? They'll probably sign 7 or keep 7 because Darnell Mooney may not start the regular season, right? So if we go by that rationale, this is who I know, or this is who I think we're going to keep first 4, and that's going to be Drake, that's going to be Mooney, that's going to be Ray, and that's going to be Cadero, because he does so many multiple things, right? That's 4. Now, if they're going to keep 7, that leaves 3. I'm going to give you my thoughts, and then you give me yours. And those of you in the chat, let me know. Let us know what you think as far as the receivers. But here we go. So like I said, Draco, Mooney, Ray, Cadero, Jamal Agnew, because you signed him to return kicks, right? So I just, he's the best kick returner you have. I don't see them getting rid of him. That's 5, right? That leaves 2 spots. I don't know that because you signed DJ Chark that he's guaranteed a spot. I don't know.
He's not.
I'm gonna go Casey Washington for 6 because Casey's been getting rave reviews. And I'm gonna go way outside the box here, and I'm gonna go David Sills because David has been getting some love here lately. Now, those are my thoughts. Give me your top 7 as you see it right now.
So obviously London, Mooney, McLeod, Hodge, Agnew, those 5 are safe. Hodge is your special teams captain. Agnew is your returner. Those guys have a ton of value outside of that. London, Mooney, McLeod, those guys are your starters. Those guys are safe. I think Casey Washington is 100% safe. He's been playing with the ones by Michael Penix's request. And he's
Okay.
been showing out with the ones.
Okay.
So they
Okay.
love him. And
Okay.
then I don't think DJ Shark is guaranteed a spot,
Yeah.
but he did look solid when he was out there. So it wouldn't shock me to see him earn that week 1 job. That being said, Sills, Nash, and Skinner are all looking like guys that should be kept for the practice squad. Chris Blair is as well. Last year they kept 4 wide receivers on the practice squad. This year I think they keep 3. And I think it's going to end up being Sills, Blair, and Nash. I think Skinner and Matthews end up getting cut and not coming back this year. I think those guys are done.
Okay.
Based on what I've seen. Now, if they ball out in a game in preseason, who knows? Like, preseason changes everything.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
But I think that they keep 7 wide receivers and only 3 running backs versus 4 running backs and 6 wide receivers this year, mainly because that 4th running back was Avery Williams, who was your returner.
Yeah.
Jamal Agnew's that guy this year. And Agnew looked pretty solid as a wide receiver from what I saw too. Like he's not going to be a game changer out there, but he was decent enough that if you need him to come in for a play or two, he'll be all right. But yeah, I think it's the Bijan, Tyler Algier, Carlos Washington show at running back with Carter and Corbin on the practice squad.
Okay. That's fair. Island Mike says, I've heard Penix has been up and down. Is that true? Well, Mike,
he's a rookie quarterback. Of course.
Yeah, he's a rookie, but he's been good. Now, I know Friday he didn't have a great day. He was like 8 for 21. But you know, I mean,
pouring on Friday.
Right. But I mean, you know, I went to 2 practices and I'm telling you, he has been as advertised. That arm is amazing. And he's been connecting with some guys. I'll tell you who else has looked good. Kyle Pitts has looked really good. I don't care what anybody says. Kyle Pitts has looked good. I mean, really good.
You.
Yeah, you have. I will give you that. Bo Bangley says, I would really like Kobe to perform well enough to be cornerback 2. Honestly, if he's a nickel, I think he would end up rotating with Billy Bowman. And
he's not a nickel.
They let go of or trade D. Alford.
They're not going to do that. D. Alford has value as a depth corner.
Yeah.
And Kobe Bryant is not a nickel. He never played nickel in college. When he did, he would get burned. So they kept him outside. I love Kobe on the outside. The minute you put him at nickel is the minute you've ended his career. He is not a nickel.
Is Kobe going to have to bulk up? Because he's really skinny. Like, let's be real.
He's got to be a biscuit or something.
Yeah, he's going to have to bulk up. Mike says, what about the kid from San Jose State? Is that Nick Nash or who?
That's Nick Nash.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. You know, what do you think? Practice squad or give me the odds. Give me your odds on Nick Nash right now.
Nick Nash, 95% makes the practice squad.
Okay.
5% straight out cut. I don't see him making the 53-man roster right now.
I don't either.
He's been outperformed in camp like crazy. Now, again, if he balls out in preseason, I could see him being a guy who they're like, well, he just balled out in preseason. I guess we're okay. We'll keep him.
Yeah.
But with who the quarterbacks are going to be for that first preseason game between Stick and Jones, I'm not expecting anything.
Okay.
Really
that's fair.
Because Emory Jones sucks.
We got T. Terry in the building, and he says, hey, Kerry, I saw the mic'd up on MPJ. He can do some talking. Yes, he can. And he's been talking a lot about Kyle Pitts. He's one thing I like about MPJ is he's been talking about his guys. He's been talking, you know, and all positives, which, I mean, he's a quarterback. He should. But I like the energy that resonates from him. I really do. I think he's about winning. I think he's about team. I think he's about development. I think he's about maximizing whatever he can out of his receiver. So I'm looking forward to that. Monte Carlo says the season is really here. stares in Falcon grandeur. Love it, Carlo. T. Terry says, "What up, fellas?" So let me ask you this. The two things we've kind of been going back and forth this whole offseason, Scott, it's been the receivers and the defensive backs. I know you love you some Billy Bowman. I know you do. Give me your starting secondary game 1, and then give me your starting secondary game 8, because you've often said that it could be a change. So just give me your thoughts on that. Give me your secondary to start the season, and then give me what you think it's going to end up being.
Game 1, I think it's Terrell, Hughes, Alford, Bates, Watts.
Okay.
I think that's the first one. Game 2, or not game 2, game 8, I think it's Terrell, Hughes, Bowman, Bates, Watts, barring injury, of course.
Okay. And it would seem that you would be correct, because Raheem was really talking Billy Bowman up. I mean, really talking him up. So I think you're right. I really do. I think you're right. I think you're onto something.
He's a hell of a football player. And here's the thing, even if you don't win the starting job at right corner, Mike Hughes rotated a lot with Clark Phillips last year.
Yeah.
At nickel, D. Alford is going to rotate with Billy Bowman this year.
Yeah.
Early on, before they even decide who's the actual long-term starter. They're going to keep guys fresh at many different units. The only spot that I think that they don't take off the field on defense is Divine Diablo, Caden Ellis, and Jesse Bates. Outside of those 3 guys, and AJ Terrell. Sorry, 4 guys. Okay. Outside of those 4 guys, there's going to be rotation. Watts is going to come off. He's probably going to play 90% of the snaps, but he's still going to come off here and there. Hughes is going to come off probably 25% of the snaps for Phillips. Alford early on, I think that might be a 50-50 split with Bowman, depending on situation. More of a pass situation, I think Alford. More of a run situation, I think Bowman. More of a play action situation, I think Alford. You're going to be able to figure out who it is. On defensive line, we've already talked, heavy rotation. We're going to see a lot of 50-50 snap splits at different spots, like a lot of them. And I'm okay with that, because you want to have a deep attacking defensive line that is fresh while that offensive line gets worn away all throughout the game.
Yeah, you do.
On offense, it's going to be the exact opposite. We're not going to see a lot of rotation. That O-line is going to play every snap if they stay healthy. Kyle Pitts is going to be on the field probably 80% of the time this year.
Okay.
Ray McLeod is probably going to be the guy that gets rotated out here and there for Charlie Werner. Darnell Mooney, he's going to be on field 100% of the time if he's out there. Drake London, same thing. Bijan and Algier are going to rotate, but it's probably going to be like a 60-40 split in snaps. But I think we're going to see a lot of snaps where they're on the field together for 5-10% of the time. And then obviously Penix is you don't pull your quarterback or your O-line. Those guys all have to work in tandem.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. I hear what you're saying. That definitely makes sense. Mike says, is the game on NFL Network? I don't know. Is it? I
live in Atlanta, so I wouldn't be able to watch it on NFL Network anyway. I have to watch it on, I think it's Fox this year is who's doing them.
Okay, let me see.
Unless I'm mistaken.
No, you're probably right. Let me see. I'll check both. Well, no, I think he's. Oh my God, these Braves! Jesus Christ, they're killing me. Braves are losing 5-2 to the Marlins. Jesus Christ. You said what?
Is that shocking?
No, it's just they're the Marlins. It's a tough season, bro. It's hard to watch, man. This is hard to watch. Yeah. All right. So in Atlanta, Indianapolis Colts at Baltimore Ravens right now is on NFL Network, Island Mike. So there you go. Island Mike says Bowman will be playing. T. Terry says MPJ and Pitts Sr. have become real close, and they
Yes,
have,
they
and
have.
they really have, and you know what? That's good. That's good. That's good. You need your quarterback and all your receivers should be. It works better if you like each other. You know, it works better if you have a good relationship. It typically translates onto the field, right? So
Who did Matt Ryan have his best relationship with when he was quarterback here in 2000?
uh, in 2010,
Who were his two best friends in 2010?
probably Roddy and Michael Turner, or
Nope.
Roddy and who else?
Tony Gonzalez was his best friend.
That's right. I forgot about Tony. You're right.
He and Tony
Shame
were
on
doing
me.
all the same shit,
Yep.
and Roddy was joining them. And then
Yep.
2011, Julio gets drafted, and Roddy pulls Julio under his wing and spends all his time with Julio.
Yep.
But later on, 2014, 2015, Julio's his number one guy, and he's hanging out with Austin Hooper off the field.
Yep.
So, and then when Pitts got drafted, who did Matt Ryan hang out with all the time? Kyle Pitts. You want your quarterback and your tight end to hang out. It only leads to better results. Kyle Pitts is a monster when he's healthy. He's a monster when his quarterback believes in him. And if he and Penix are being best friends, that is never a bad thing. You want your tight end to be best friends with your quarterback. Drake London seems like he's got a good friendship going on with Penix. Bijan definitely has got a good friendship going on with Penix, but Bijan's friends with everybody.
Yeah.
Bijan's that dude in the locker room that everyone's like, hell yeah, it's Bijan. He's back.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
definitely. Everybody loves Bijan.
I'd be the guy on defense that'd be like, I don't like Bijan. I don't like Bijan. And he's too nice. He needs to play with some more grit. And they'd be like, what? I'm like, no, I mean, as a personal level, I love him, but on field, he's just too nice. Like, you got to be gritty on the field. But apparently that's how London and Bijan are. Is on field, they're friggin' nuts. And then off field, they're the nicest dudes in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I want. I want a team that the minute they put the helmet on, they flip that switch and they become a friggin' gladiator. And the minute they take that helmet off, they're like, what's up, man? Let's go get some shawarma or something. Like, that's what I want these dudes to be like. Like, let's go get some chicken wings or something. Like,
I've never had shawarma. I've never had shawarma.
You'd like it. You'd like it. It's just beef and lamb ground up and thrown onto a giant stick skewer, and they just shave it off.
That is really awesome. Because I am so hungry right now, so I need to get something. Monte Carlo says you can use Stream East, just back out of the PPO up until you get a stream.
I don't even know what that is.
I have no idea what he's talking about, but
he's probably talking about some piracy type stuff.
I don't. Well, I don't know. We can't say that, Scott. We got Tiff Raines, and Tiff Raines says, "Hey, Tiff, how you doing? Hopefully all is well. Hopefully you are doing okay." Let's shift gears a little bit here, Scott, and let's talk about James Pierce Jr. because I know he's gotten in a couple of fights, and I read a story today that said he got into another one, and Raheem had to kind of yell at him and get him together. So sometimes there's a fine line between being a really intense player and being a self-destructive player and costing your team. In your opinion right now, what is James Pierce?
How is he off the field?
That I don't know.
That is what I want to know.
Okay.
From what I've been reading, what I've been told, he is the consummate professional off the field. He lifts hard. He's competitive. He's extremely competitive.
Mm-hmm.
He's extremely driven. He's very introverted, but he's extremely driven. And he's extremely competitive, and he wants to be the best. And if that leads to him causing some fights at camp, I'd rather him fight and be that guy who puts his foot in the ass for the rest of the defense. And they're like, man, James is getting in the fight. And then you pull him back, but like you're like, nah, man, don't talk shit about my guy. This is my guy. I want
Right.
that kind of guy on my defense. I want
Okay.
that guy who's going to cause camp fights.
Well,
I do.
he's
I do.
definitely that. I get it. I
Because he's
get
not
it.
doing it at the beginning of the practice. He's doing it later on in the day after he's tired and has reps. And like, give me that guy who's going to fight even when he's tired, even when
Yeah.
he's late in the game. They're not going to play him enough reps for him to get to that point on the field, but he's still going to play like he's a screaming banshee. And that's what I want. And
That's fair.
you can tell he's a shit talker.
Well, one thing about it, you can always pull a guy back, but you can't give a guy intensity.
No.
Like if you don't have it, if you don't have that dog in, I can't give it to you. There's no motivational speech I can give you that's gonna make you that guy. You have to be that guy. So
and it's from his love of the game. He wants to go out there. He wants to destroy quarterbacks. That's his goal. You know what? Give me that guy 10 times out of 10. I want that guy on my team. Jalen Walker's a very intense player too, but his intensity is more quiet, right?
yeah,
He's not starting fights, but he's out there and he's killing it every rep.
yeah.
You see the exact same thing with a lot of these guys.
Okay, that's
that
fair.
are more. A lot of them are more like Jalen Walker, right?
Yeah,
Give me that one guy, maybe even two guys who are going to go out there and start a camp fight. I'm surprised DeMarco Hellams hadn't started a camp fight yet, because he started them at Bama.
yeah. He just likes to hit people, man.
He just likes that.
He just likes to
out.
hit people. Yeah, I like him. That you know, it's funny. The play he got hurt on last year was in the Ben Stadium in the preseason game. You could hear that hit clean up throughout the rafters. Like it was loud. He hit that dude. Like I remember because I saw that thing
so
real time.
He had a he himself had a high ankle sprain.
Yeah. Well, no, I think he tore something because he was out. He never played. He was out for the season.
High ankle sprain can take you out for the year if it's the right ligaments on the inside of your ankle.
Gotcha.
So I think that's what happened. He just laid so hard into him. But
I mean, he's a thumper, man.
Nasty competitor like that. Kobe Bryant's like that. You want that in every single unit. You want it in your corner unit. You want it in your safety unit. You want it in your linebacker group. You want that nasty motherfucker in your linebacker group.
Okay. All right.
So,
T. Terry says Walker and JPJ are roommates at camp. Walker is going to be the person to control JPJ.
Good.
All right. Fair enough.
Walker is that team captain in the future, that vocal leader team captain in the future. I do think eventually Walker's your middle linebacker.
Okay.
Your middle linebacker who gets 7 sacks a year, but still your middle linebacker. I don't know if Ellis lasts after this year, for what it's worth. I don't think they bring him back after this year, after the last year of his contract.
Okay. That's fair. Let's talk about how the changes that Jeff Ulbrich makes impact the Falcons defense.
Man, your spelling on that is rough.
Where?
It's Ulbrich. There's no T. It's all brick.
Oh, okay. My bad. All right. Whatever, Scott. Whatever. You had me thinking I misspelled adaptability or something like, oh, you know what it is? Yeah, I see that. Okay. I see what you're saying. Player development and adaptability. Okay. I missed that. Because I did spell check, but whatever. All right. Aggressive attack-oriented defense. Check 3-4 base. Now he did say that they would contingent upon the opponent flex between 3-4 and 4-3. He's going to focus on playmaking and takeaways, adaptability and adjustments and development and scheme fit, and all of that sounds great. Scott, break this down for us, brass tacks. What does all of this mean? What does all of this translate into, if you would?
Essentially, it means they're going to run a one-gap scheme. So every guy up front is going to have one gap to focus on instead of multiple gaps. Jimmy Lake ran a very reactive two-gap defense that was based on you react to the play. Ulbrich runs a one-gap defense, which means you attack your gap, and if they get you, they get you. It's a little bit more risky, but it's worth it. Give me that kind of defense all day, every day. Focusing on turnovers, focusing on making tackles behind the line, focusing on popping the ball out, focusing on smacking the quarterback around, focusing on interceptions. That's the kind of defense you want. Every defense wants that. Every defense wants that. Player development, that should be the name of the game no matter what you do. Should always be developing your players. Trying to make them better at one thing every day. Morris and Ulbrich both come from that Dan Quinn tree, right? So that Dan Quinn tree is all about, hey, here's your plan to get better. Every single month, every single day, every single week, every single year. You're always going to get better at something. No matter what you want to do, you will get better. And then the last part, adaptability and all of that, that's just modern NFL defense. So basically, we're going to be running an attacking modern defense. We'll run 3-4, we'll run 4-3, we'll run 2-4-5, we'll run offset 3-3-5, we'll run 4-2-5, we'll run dime, we'll run whatever we want to run. We're going to play the most multiple defense that you've seen in years. And early on, it's probably going to look a lot like a Dan Quinn scheme. I'm going to be very upfront with you. It's going to be very cover 3, cover 4 heavy, but it's going to be very, very fun to watch.
Okay. That's all right. That's fair. I had one more question for you, and I must confess yeah, what, oh God, I cannot remember what I was gonna ask you. I forgot it when you started talking about Dan Quinn. I was like, Dan Quinn, what? I was like, squirrel. I forgot it. Golly, what was I gonna ask you? Oh, how often does Ulbrich disguise coverages? Because I've heard he doesn't do it that often, but maybe I'm wrong. From what you've seen,
Saleh doesn't like disguised coverage.
Okay.
So Ulbrich had to not disguise his coverages.
Okay.
However, Morris likes
loves he does.
Jerry Gray loves disguised coverages.
Okay.
So when you're factoring that in, you have to factor in different pieces of the staff, right?
Yeah.
Mike Ruttenberg comes from a group of coaches that all love disguising coverages, and he's your defensive pass game coordinator.
Okay.
They will disguise coverages this year. They will go out there looking like they're going to run a cover 2 and drop into a cover 3.
Okay.
They will go out there looking like they're going to pop into a cover 3 and they're going to run cover 2 man.
Okay.
They will run a lot of man coverage, though. A lot more man coverage, I should say.
Okay.
Saleh was very big on, I'm just going to line up my guy versus your guy. I'm going to have a coverage shell back there protecting their ass, and then you got to get through my guy. Part of the reason why Sauce Gardner is so well regarded is he would trail and man cover one guy all game.
Okay.
So I think we will see it more with AJ Terrell this year.
Yeah. One thing I've been hearing is that Ulbrich likes man-to-man coverage bet more. And so you will probably see the Falcons at least double in their man-to-man coverage. Island Mike says will be a lot of blitzing. Do you agree with that, Scott?
Yes and no.
Okay.
It's probably going to be about 35% blitzing, which is more than what they were last year.
Okay.
But it's not going to be sim pressures. It's going to be a true 5-man blitz. Ellis is your 5th man.
Okay.
Ellis is the third man for the NWO. Ellis is your 5th man. If somebody's blitzing, more than likely than not, it's going to be Ellis. Now, if Anderson's healthy, big if, but if he's healthy, I wouldn't be shocked to see sets where they have Anderson, Ellis, and Diablo out there as linebackers. and they've got a 4-man line when they're running their 4-3, and that 4-man line is Harris on one side, Floyd or Walker on the other, and then in the middle, Harrison on one side, Floyd or Walker, or Pierce, on the other side, and then in the middle you have Anyamata and Rook on a 4-3. You can run a 4-3 look very easily with this group.
Yeah.
A very competent looking 4-3.
Yeah.
And even though he's a little bit bigger at 6'6", 280, Harrison can still bend an edge. So I think Harrison's the biggest improvement this year, because I think I was doing some stats last night, just kind of looking into it to see just how different this year's snap totals are going to be. Grady Jarrett played 67% of the snaps last year. He's gone. Eddie Goldman played 30% of the snaps last year. He's gone. Contavious Street played 25% of the snaps last year. Wouldn't shock me if he's gone. So that gives you a combined 121%. That's got to go somewhere. Rook is going to get a bunch. Dorless is going to get a bunch. Harrison's going to get a bunch. You're going to see Morgan Fox get some of those snaps. But Harrison and Rook are going to be the biggest dudes that I think get the upgrade in snaps this year. And then next year, when David Onyemata's gone, Dorless is going to see that big increase in snaps.
Who's your nose tackle when you're in a 3-4 set?
Rook.
Rook.
So again, attacking 3-4. Rook may only be 305 pounds right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think the goal is eventually he gets up to about 315, like Brockers did.
Okay.
And Brockers was not a zero technique nose tackle. This is not a standard 3-4 with a fat boy lined up right in front of the center. We don't run that.
Okay.
Our nose tackle runs in the one gap on the strong side of the formation.
Okay.
Our big end runs a 6-tech just off the shoulder of the offensive tackle on the strong side of the formation. Our 3-tech runs in the B gap on the outside of the guard shoulder, like David Onyemata will be doing on the weak side of the formation. And then that strong side linebacker is going to be on the flip side, and that's going to be more of a true strong side linebacker with Harrison kind of keeping them clean. And then on the weak side, you're going to have a true Leo style guy who might have his hand in the dirt some plays, who might not have his hand in the dirt some plays. I hate to say it, the most common example that we can compare it to is how they used Vic Beasley in that 2016 season.
Okay.
He had his hand in the dirt a lot of plays, but he was also standing up a lot of plays. And it was about 50-50 grand scheme of things. And I think we're going to see a very similar situation there. And that's why they like Ebiketie for that role. That's why they like Walker for that role. That's why they like Floyd for that role. Pierce for that role. All these guys can both play linebacker and play that Leo. So
Island Mike says, who's impressed you the most on offense and defense so far, even though he knows it's early?
On offense, the O-line. Just in general, the O-line. They are looking just as good as they did last year. They are going to be very fun to watch. I'm a big fat guys win championships kind of guy. I believe your offensive line will lead you to a better year than anybody else will.
Okay.
On defense, from what I saw at camp, I'm really impressed by the defensive linemen.
Okay.
Rook and Harrison specifically are standing out to me.
Okay. Are we more susceptible to the run or to the pass right now, in your opinion?
We're always more susceptible to the pass until we figure out the pass rush situation. However, I think with Rook and Harrison getting a lot of snaps this year, I think that changes. I think they're going to create a lot of havoc inside to make it easier on the guys outside. As much as I love Grady Jarrett, his pass rush in the last 2 years was not up to snuff.
Okay. Well, hey man, that's fair. I get it. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, Scott, appreciate you, man. I think we've come to the end of our show because I am starving. My ribs and my stomach are are having a conversation right now, so I got to go get something to eat. But as always, my friend, this was so much fun. We got to do another series, Scott. I was thinking about you over the weekend.
Another
We
series?
Yeah, another TV series. You remember
Oh
we did a
yes.
TV series. It was like, it's been so long. We did a TV series, Scott. Jesus, come on. But we got to do another one. Um, so we'll talk offline on that. But we gotta get another one in. We gotta get another one in. Um, I was watching House of Lives, which I love that
It's
show.
a good show.
I love that show.
It's a good show.
I rewatched it again. I'm on season 5. It is such a great show, and it's such a great character arc. Um, So anyway, we got to talk about that. But anyway, Mike gave you a compliment.
Oh,
Scott is
thank
so
you.
talented. Love all of his info. Yes, Scott is very talented. Scott's
I
probably
appreciate that.
forgotten more than most of us will ever know in the game of football, specifically with formations and defenses and all that other stuff. So, hey, definitely appreciate the compliment, Island Mike. So, yeah, Scott,
Yeah,
tell these folks where
absolutely.
they
Thank
can
you.
find you. And you got a show coming up. Is it this week or next week?
It's tomorrow. I'm talking running backs for the 2026 draft, which it's one of those I'm kind of getting that over with, the running back evals, because I'm just like, they're running backs. I don't really care.
Mm-hmm.
I've got my running back in Atlanta for the next 5-6 years at
Five,
this
6 years.
point.
Yeah.
So do I really need to kind of go over them? But I'm going to go ahead and knock out what I can with the running backs already, and then just kind of go into the season, and whoever pops, whoever doesn't. But yeah,
What time is the show tomorrow?
9:15, I think,
Okay. All right.
on Draft Professors.
Send me the link. I know you have, but just send it to me again.
Absolutely.
And that way I'll catch it afterwards because I think I'll be on a show tomorrow. So I'll have to catch it afterwards. But yeah, man. Hey, Scott, as always, appreciate you, man. Definitely do. Tell these folks where they can find you on Twitter, man.
You can find me on Twitter at Karasik S. That's CARASIKS. Feel free to hit me up anytime. Talking football, I'm always down.
Good deal. Carlos says Philly got their stadium packed. Looks like okie doke. I didn't know they played tonight. They got a lot going on, man. Atlanta Dreams playing tonight. Braves gave up another run. Jesus, these Braves are killing me. Slow, Scott. It just I'm not even looking at it.
They're not even playing any starters that played on opening week.
Yeah, I know.
So if you're not opening week rotation, outside of Strider, who should have been opening week, they don't really have anybody out there playing right now.
They don't.
Pitching right now who's opening week except Strider.
They don't.
So
they got Strider and a bunch of also rans.
And they got 2 guys who tore their UCL this year from that opening week rotation.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are like, oh yeah, 2026 is going to be great. Yeah, you got to go out and sign a starter, or you got to figure out how to fix Didier Fuentes.
No, you were right the first time. You got to go out. Braves, stop being cheap. You got to go out and sign a starter. Bottom line. And you probably need.
No, so here's the thing. You have to have at least 4 good starters, and then that 5th guy can be a guy from AAA that you're trying to get major league looks, and just hope that he pops up and looks amazing.
I tell you what gives me trepidation about
3,
this, Scott, is we do, and there you go, right? But you got Sale, who's got an injury. You got Strider, who's just coming back. You got Schwelly, who's going to be coming back. I would feel a lot better if you had at least another starter. Doesn't have to be a number 1 starter, but at least a number 3 starter. I'd feel a lot better than that.
Even just that inning-eating guy like a Jose Quintana.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Because
he's who played against the Braves last night.
You said what?
He's the lefty who played against the Braves last night.
Yeah, I mean he can pitch. I'm okay, but if you sign Quintana, like I need to, I need a solid number 3, because we've been so unlucky the past couple of years with these injuries. I just want to make sure that
So you've got a number 1 in Schwelly. You got
do.
a number 1 in Sale. You got a number
Right.
1 in Strider.
Right, Strider's not who he used to be. Okay, and maybe he
Over
figures
the
it out.
offseason, I think he comes back and he figures out how to pitch.
Maybe.
I think he talks to Smoltz and becomes the new Smoltz.
Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But
Because I think that's who he needs to talk to figure out exactly how to pitch with that 95 mile an hour he's got now.
Agreed, but maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. You gotta. This is what I'm looking at, Scott. You gotta maximize these resources while you have them. Yeah, I don't think the Braves are going to sign Acuna beyond 2028 because he's going to get offered $900 million. Now, if he wants to stay here, he's going to take an extreme discount, Scott. Extreme, and
Absolutely.
I mean extreme, right?
Absolutely.
So this is what I'm looking at. Your window of another championship is 2028. So if you're looking at it within those parameters, you got to have at least 2 starters next year. You got to have at least 2 relievers. Now, hey, you want to keep Nick Allen? Fine. But you need at least 2 starters. You need at least 2 relievers, right? Good night, Island Mike. Have a great one, my friend. You need that.
Dustin May, Steven Matz.
I like Dustin May.
Miles Mikolas.
I like Dustin May. Yeah.
There's a lot of just mid-tier guys. Again, Jose Quintana. I would gladly bring in Quintana.
I'll
Mike
take
Soroka
2.
is going to be a free agent.
Yeah, I'll take 2 of those.
Assuming he doesn't have a UCL injury.
Yeah, I'll take 2 of those. I'll take 2. Give me 2 of those. Give me 2 relievers that throw gas. I know you're gonna have to pay him $15 million. It is what it is. And let's go with what we got. But you need 2 starters. You need 2 relievers. You need a second baseman who can hit right-handed pitching. And we'll go with what we got. We'll go with what we got. We'll figure it out. But hey, man, appreciate it to everyone who joined us in the chat. We cannot thank you enough. To everyone who joined us on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, thank you. Appreciate you. This was really fun. We always enjoy it. And again, you could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to be with us. We are appreciative. To the extent that you are so inclined, please feel free to go to For My ATL Sports 1 on YouTube. Again, the number 4 My ATL Sports, the number 1 on YouTube, and like, share, and subscribe, as it gives us greater access to the algorithm, which allows us to bring more content to you. I want to thank God for waking me up this morning, everything that he's done, leading me to the path of this young man, Mr. Scott Karasik, like Jurassic. Again, thank all of you in the chat. Want to thank my brother, Eric Parker, and Mr. Jack Spade for giving my start in this business. You guys have an amazing day. And I got to come back in about 45 minutes, and I'll see you guys with the Thursday Night Throwdown. So you guys have a great day. Go Braves, go Falcons. Good night, everybody.
Late night vibes, we're turning up the heat. T-Will on the mic, can't accept defeat. My ATL Sports Show, he's running the game. Atlanta Falcons fly high, you know the name. In the heart of the A, where the pride runs deep. From the Braves to the Falcons, he's keeping it real, no sleep. He's got the scoop, every player, every play. Bringing the thunder every single day. T-Will, shining bright on the airwaves, bringing sports tonight. Atlanta heart with the soul so free. My ATL Sports Show, it's the place to be. T-Will, taking flight. Falcons and Braves, yeah, we're feeling right. So bring that energy, let the city resonate. With T-Will on the mic, we're gonna celebrate.